Okay, I think we are live. Let's go to the comment section and see. Now, if you're here and you're watching me, I want you to let us know in the comment section where you're joining in from, and your name, and tell us where you're joining in from. So, welcome, 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 welcome. This is the April Strategy Clinic. I am super, 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 super excited. I mean, it's been amazing. April, man, this April has been super, super amazing. I can't even wait to get deep into it. What makes this particular episode special and amazing is that I'm bringing someone else. Okay, so we have Kazim Sani from Abuja. Hey, hi Kazim, welcome. So if you're joining us, tell us where you're coming from. We're going to give you a shout out. Give you a shout out. So right now we're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Facebook, on both of my Facebook pages. So yeah, it's going to be amazing. Oh wow, amazing. So we have Dr. Adiola of Wellness Search all the way from Arizona. Tell us we're international without telling us you're international. All right. Honestly, I'm super excited. As you can see, I'm amped up. Right. So if you're joining us, tell us where you're joining us from. My guest today is going to blow your mind. But before we go into that, I want to just briefly, let's just gist small. Let's see, what's happening. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing great. I hope your businesses are going great. Ramadan Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters out there. We're winding down. Before you know it, it was like, when did we even start? I remember when I was like, oh, I'm planning for Ramadan, starting Ramadan. Oh, these are my goals for Ramadan. And then now we're winding down. Can you imagine? Wow. Awesome! We have this daily all the way from Abuja, breakfast in the city. We have movers and shakers on today's call. I'm telling you, it's gonna be amazing, right? So what has been happening, this April, alhamdulillah, has been amazing. It's been really great, and things have been happening. So I want to, before we go into, before I go ahead and let's have this conversation. My guest is going to be joining in a bit, right? It's going to be joining in a bit, and once he joins in, we'll go live with him as well. But let me just give you guys a bit of structure. If you're just joining us, welcome, thank you. This is the Strategy Clinic. We do it every month, and I'll tell you how you can get to to participate as well. So we started this business clinic as a way to help business owners, because we realized that, look, a lot of business owners start business. Think about it. Most of us started our businesses without even knowing how, without even knowing what business is all about, without even understanding what is the way to grow your business. And most of us are just doing the business, kitty kitty kata kata, not really understanding what's happening. And the honest truth is, as sad as that is, you can't grow your business like that, right? So that's why we said, you know what? Why don't we start this strategy clinic whereby we'll be helping business owners? And you see, the honest truth is, if you look at businesses that have scaled, businesses that have had massive results, businesses that have had, really amazing stuff to say, right? One of the things that you realize is that those businesses had some form of coaching, mentorship, counsel, some form of, something like that, right? Now, but what happens to the business owners that are passionate about running their business, right? But they don't have the funds to hire coaches. And the honest truth is that any coach that is worth his or her metal doesn't come cheap, right? Any coach that is worth his or her metal doesn't come cheap. For example, if you want, and I'm not even going to go into that, but if you want me to coach you one-on-one, that's, you're going to part with some 7 figures, right? But what happens to those of them that are passionate about growing their business, but don't have the required funds to do that? What happens to them? Do they just wither and die? We need to help them, right? So that's why we started this this strategy clinic, which happens every month, the last Sunday of every month at 5 p.m. And it's actually part of our Business Leaders Club curriculum, right? And what we do in Business Leaders Club is that we have 4 calls every month with members of Business Leaders Club, aka BLC. If you are watching and you are a member of BLC, put BLC in the comment section. Let's see. Let's give you a shout out. Let's show them that we have BLC people here, really live and direct and doing amazing stuff, right? So, it's part of the BLC. Now, what do we do in BLC? Basically, we have 4 calls every month, and we talk about two major things. One, the first thing we talk about is business building. And what do we do in business building? We talk about how do you use systems, how do you structure to grow your business so that you can structure your business properly. You see, one of the disadvantages or things that business owners face in growing their business is realizing that they are not able to put proper structure in place, right? So if you don't have proper structure in place, you can't really grow your business. You get what I'm saying? Right? You can't really grow your business. So one of the things that we do is to help them put structure in place. All right, so I can see my BLC people giving a shout out. Yeah. I've got to give a shout out to all of them. Boss Peace, Miss Daly, Kazim, amazing. All right, so business building is one of the things that we do in BLC, right? So we teach them how to put structures, how to put systems, how to make sure that everything is moving on smoothly, right? Then the second thing that we talk about is sales success. Now, sales success is all about sales success strategy, right? How do we help them to have that particular, strategy that they can use to grow, to increase revenue? I mean, so this month, one of the things I talked about was increasing your revenue with 4 key steps. Amazing content, And so we said, okay, the last call that we'll have. So we have 4 calls every month, 1 call every week, right? So the last call that we have, we said, okay, you know what? Let's not have that call within our ecosystem. So for BLC, there's an ecosystem. We have a WhatsApp group. We jump on Zoom for those calls and everything. So we said, you know what? Instead of us coming on WhatsApp or on Zoom to have our calls, why don't we have that call and broadcast it to the world so that people get to see the amazing people that BLC has, right? And also we get to show you, maybe you might want to join us. You might be, instead of you waiting to have calls every Sunday and once a month, you can join us and have a call with me every week, every Sunday at 5 p.m. It can't get better than that. Now, the next thing that what I also realized is that with the strategy clinic, I realized that business owners, like I said, they don't have access to top-notch coaches because those top-notch coaches are expensive. I mean, you're not making revenue of $1 million a month, and for you to hire a coach is telling you minimum 1 million, 2 million to give you the results, and they will give you the results. You will get the results, but the problem is, what of those that can't afford it? So I said, okay, part of my corporate social responsibility is to reach out to my own network of coaches, to reach out to my own network of mentors, and bring them on the call so that you can get to learn from them without having to spend your money. Right? You see, the honest truth is that for you to grow your business, you must spend. Either you're spending your money or you're spending your time. Right? So I know that, maybe you don't have the money. Maybe you're aspiring. Maybe you're just starting. Fine. Can you spend 1 hour every month? And I promise you, I will bring you the best of the best. For example, our expert today, let me just read just a bit, just a tiny bit about, about him, right? It's mind-blowing, right? So he's someone that I've known for quite a while, I think about 4 or 5 years. He's a member of the John Maxwell team, just like me. But what blew my mind is Mr. Soji has built a business. Has built a business that has branches in every major city in Nigeria. He just recently launched his Uyo branch. And I'm sure he's going to come and tell us about all that, right? He just recently launched his Uyo branch. And not only in Nigeria, but also he has a branch in Ghana as well. So he has a business in Ghana. Think about it, you're in Nigeria and you have a branch in Ghana. How does your business need to grow for you to become international? For you to be able to cross borders, right? Now, remember that 90% of most businesses die in the first couple of years, right? But imagine that you have a business that has been on for 16 good years. 16 years. So Mr. Soji has been in business for 16 good, as in or more. It's as in 16 years. Think about it. 16 good years. Someone has been in business. And they say that 90% of businesses die in the first 5 years. It's amazing. So just, I can't wait for him to join in. He's going to join in a bit. I'm just trying to reach out to him to join in. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? So how do you learn? So how do you learn from those kind of people? You probably don't have access to it, right? You probably can't afford to be coached by him. So what I did was I, asked him to come and join us. Let's have a conversation. Yes, Miss Daly, he has made it. He has made his market life. He has. I mean, amazing businesses, and all that. So I've curated a few questions where I'm gonna ask him those questions, and I hope that in that conversation we will be able to, you'll be able to learn. So I hope you have your notepads ready. He's already in the waiting room, and I'm going to bring him up shortly. I hope you have your notepad ready. Another thing I want you to do is to copy the YouTube link that you're using to watch this. Share it on your WhatsApp status, share it as a broadcast and everything. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put the fire emoji in the comment section as I bring to you the one and only Mr. Soji, aka Soji. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much for honoring us. I know that your time is really, really important, and we don't take it for granted. We really appreciate that. You're joining us this Sunday evening, and a lot of people are already. I can see the fire emojis are already coming. So Mrs. Daly says you're helpful to people coming up, and we really appreciate you for all the people that you have helped. So before I even throw the mic to you for you to start talking, I want to tell you, just let me tell you a bit of how Soji has helped me. So at the point in time when I was thinking of the next step in my life, the next step in my career, he was in Abuja, and I asked him that, sir, I want to see you. See, let me tell you something. There's some meetings that you meet somebody once and your life changes. Mr. Soji is that kind of person. Meeting once, your life will change. I guarantee you that today, on this call, every one of you that is here that is a business owner, your life is about to change. So I met him, and I told him that, amen. So I told him that, look, sir, in fact, there were so many issues, and the thing is that when your life is about to change, some kind of obstacles start to come. My flight from Kano was delayed, so I couldn't get in as at the time that we're supposed to meet. I got in. He had checked out of his hotel, and he was about to get into his car when I had a conversation with him. That conversation alone has catapulted my life, and I really attribute it to the grace of God, also to people like him that have helped me, that have given me clarity. So without wasting much time, thank you very much, Mr. Chinobi, for joining us. Tell us about your journey. Tell us a bit about yourself. I did a bit of introduction before you came in, but tell us a bit about yourself and tell us about your journey. How did you start, and how has it been so far?
Thank you so much, King of the North. It's a privilege and a pleasure to be on your platform. Though I'm not in the WhatsApp group of your community, but obviously I'm a fan and I follow everything that goes on out there. It's a privilege. I was in the banking industry for 19 years, and I think just about when I was 36 years old in the banking industry, at that time I was, I think, senior manager in the banking industry. I read a book. I can't remember the title now. But the basic summary of the book was, usually by age 40, you ought to be clear as to what you want to do with the rest of your life. And the book said to come to that realization, there are 3 questions you should answer. Question 1, who am I? So you need to do a SWOT analysis of yourself. Who am I? Question 2, who or what do I want to become? Right. And that question 2 should not be limited by your circumstance or your capacity. It should be a big dream, what you really would like to become. Question 3, how do I get there? So this is who I am, but that is what or who I want to become. So the third question is the most important question. How do I get there? Because that third question begins to speak back to you. You can't get there with this job you're doing. You can't get there hanging out with this kind of people. You can't get there if you don't go and acquire this or that. So it begins to point you to what you would need to do. Then the next thing is put timelines to doing them and acting on them. So I did this exercise at about 8:36, and it was clear. my conclusion was by 8:40, I don't want to be working for anybody. I want to be an entrepreneur. As life usually happens, I didn't have coaches or any of that at that time. I forgot that expectation and the dream until Soludo became central bank governor and he was consolidating banks and reducing over 80 something banks down to about 20, 25. Now, by the time Soludo became CBN governor, I had gotten 2 promotions. I was now a general manager. So my career was doing well. So I was practically at the height of my career. Because next to a GM in the banking industry is to become an ED or an MD. There's nowhere else to go. So my option of becoming an executive director or an MD shrunk from about 85 options to 20 options. So it was clear to me that, oh boy, you have a dream 4 years ago. Why didn't you leave? So I dusted everything up. I achieved it by age 41 as it is. And I started. Right. So if I had not had that expectation or that dream of what you want to do with your life, I'll still be in the banking industry. Because they didn't sack me. I resigned. They didn't ask me to go. I was you know what a GM is in the banking industry with all kinds of perks. So I started and it was extremely rough. The business I started did not make a profit until the 5th year, year 5. And a lot of my contemporaries, I was a treasurer of a bank, the primary shareholder of the business was the MD of the bank. They kept on telling me, Soji, you resigned, you can come back, your job is waiting. And it was pretty tempting because I had a wife and family. But another good thing that helped me through that period was I believe I married right. Because when you have a good wife through such moments, it helps stabilize the moment. So for those 5 years, I couldn't drop 1 naira in the house. I was just a figurehead husband. And my wife took charge of everything. And nobody outside knew any of that crisis was going on. And I believe strongly in my vision and what we were trying to create in those 5 years. But part of why it took 5 years, because I've started several other businesses since then, and they break even in 1 year. So I made a lot of mistakes, which a lot of us make, which is why I'm glad we're having this kind of discussion. One of the greatest mistakes that I made was I didn't realize that, we're going into outsourcing, people management. So the primary users of what we're going to be doing are banks. So it was, and all our banker friends and MDs and all, you guys, finally, professionals are going in that line. Oh, you guys, we're going to back you up. Guess what? The moment we resigned and they started taking our phone calls. So friends, family, and all of those will disappoint you. Those were the pioneering problems. Later in life, I found out why. I don't blame them. Yes, they know you as an individual, but they don't know that business. That business is a baby. So they can't entrust their business to you that has not been tested and proven. Even I won't do that, but then I didn't understand it. Right. Then some of our pioneer staff that even got letters of employment did not resume.
Okay.
Because they
sorry about that. I think we have a brief network issue. We're back. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. Even some of the staff that resumed, that took letters of employment, came for interview. By the time they saw this nature of the office they'll be working in, they didn't resume. Because it was like, oh boy. So it was that rough as it is. And it was difficult. If we're not making profit for 5 years, of course, MD and 1 or 2 top executives had no salaries or half salary and were owing each other. But we made sure all junior staff had their pay. So that's how it was. But 16 years down the line, we have, apart from serving clients all over Nigeria and Ghana, we have physical offices in 8 major states in Nigeria. And currently, we have about 10,000 staff. Core staff is 130. So that is what has happened from year 5.5 to year 16.
Wow. So let's talk about that. Now, you went from not having an office space to arguably, I've seen it, the best office spaces in the whole of Nigeria. I've not seen any place. Let's talk about your brand, The Bunker. right? Just give us a bit. So you said in where are they, and what inspired you to even go into that direction?
Thank you so much, Othman. That's another interesting question. By the way, the bunker is one of our sub-businesses. Our major business is called Resource Intermediaries Limited. So Resource Intermediaries Limited is a 16-year-old business that owns the bunker. The bunker is a co-work facility and a training space. The bunker as a business is 4.5 years old. The oldest of the bunker co-work facilities is 4.5 years old, and that is in Lekki, phase 1. The second one we opened in Yaba, 2 in Lagos. The third one we opened in Abuja. The fourth one we opened in Ibadan. The fifth one we opened in Abeokuta. The sixth one we just opened 2 weeks ago in Uyo. So 6 of those co-work spaces. We intend to have one in every state capital eventually. Now, the idea, what happened, which is critical for people starting businesses and just people who need to have a belief in this country called Nigeria, like we do, as it is, like Othman does, like I do. I mean, have no apologies for whoever chooses to go, wherever they choose to go to, right? I mean, if it works for them, this place is fantastic. One Monday, one of my colleagues just came to work and was complaining bitterly the frustration her husband was having over the weekend in getting a co-work space to read for his ICANN exams. And I asked her, what is a co-work space? I've never heard of all of that in all my exposure. 4.5 years ago, I had no idea what was called a co-work space. Then she explained and said that he went to the one he normally uses in Lekki. It was full. He went to 4 others. They were all fully booked. I said, really? So what's a co-work space? So that week, I just went on Google co-work spaces in Lagos, and I visited in 1 week about 20 of them. And I went in as if I was a customer. What do you people do here? Take me around. What are your fees? What are your rates? And as I was doing that, I was seeing the opportunity and the gaps in what they provide as it is. And instantly, a business idea came to me. So, because we also do training in Resource Intermediaries Limited, and we rent training spaces. So I was like, why am I paying other people when I can own that kind of a business? So we were to call it the RIL training facility. Then my children, I mean, I have 2 millennials. My son is an architect, he's 29. My daughter is also an architect, she's 27. So they said, no, Dad, you can't call this place the RIL training center. I mean, it's too long, it's not catchy. They are millennials. I said, no, Daddy, I mean, it's so boring. I mean, RIL is the brand on its own. So I said, can you guys come up with some names for me? And they came up with 4 names, and I just loved the bunker. The bunk, B-U-N-K. So it's like your bunker, your hideout, is your space, your personal space. Whatever you choose to do there, it's like you are in a safe haven for creative thinking and all of that. And that's how the first one started.
Wow. So 4 years ago, I want to understand, 4 years ago, you had no idea. And
never
you saw a problem.
Yes.
Instead of you to complain and say, oh, this Lagos, what's happening? You say, wait, you researched and you created the solution.
Yeah.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have the bunker location in your location, Abuja, Uyo, Lagos, Abeokuta, Ibadan, and you haven't visited it, honestly, I don't know what you're doing. Like you said, your personal space. Bunker used to be my personal, I mean, it still is my personal space. I still go there, even though I have an office. I remember the last time I went there, Claire was like, you don't know what I used to do there. I said, I miss you, boost coffee. I came to drink. So I came, drank coffee. They gave me my space. And the honest truth is, when I have meetings there, I'm just digressing because I want people to understand how amazing your brand is. When I have meetings there and people come to see me there, because I had a virtual co-working arrangement with them. When people come to see me there, they think I own the place.
Absolutely. It's your personal space. That's it.
Yes, because the way the staff used to treat me, as if I'm the only person there. Really amazing. So we're talking about staff, right? You're able to coordinate your staff in multiple locations. How are you able to get results and efficiency from them?
Another good question, Othman. You see, most of us say we are in business, but you are really not in business if you have to be there for that business to make money. Let me go over that again. You are really not in business if you have to be there for that business to earn money. What you have done is you are still an employee. It's just that you have employed yourself. So to really say you are in business, you must be able to scale such that when you are asleep, when you're on vacation, money is coming in. And to do that, it boils down to 4 basic things. One, you must have a structure, an organizational structure. The structure is like the skeleton that holds the business. So whether you are there or not, that business will be running. You must have an organizational structure, and the structure will differ depending on the size of your business, the industry you are in, and what your goals are. I mean, that's a different topic on its own. 2, you must have standard operating procedures, what is called SOP. So based on that structure, a structure, we have things like who is responsible for marketing, who is responsible for after-sales service, who is responsible for producing what we are even marketing, who is responsible for the accounting, who is responsible to invest the surplus funds we have, who is responsible. Those are structures. Now, one person can do all of that initially when you're starting up. But if you really want to scale up, you need to begin to put those structures in place and let them not be you. And the interesting thing in the world we live in now is you can outsource some of those things I've mentioned. So they don't have to be staff you are paying a salary. It could be people who you pay when you need it. For example, you don't need to employ an accountant as a startup if you can't afford to pay a salary of an accountant. But the organizations and firms, including ours, Resource Intermediaries Limited, will collect your checkbook and your bank statement. End of the month, they will give you P&L and balance sheet. You have your records. So so instead of getting an accountant, you will pay like 150,000 minimum per month, 1.8 million per year. For 500,000 in a year, you get that service every month. But they're not on your payroll. So that's the structure. So it enables you to scale up as it is. You could also have automated calling system. When people call your business or to follow up, there are all kinds of digital technologies that can do your digital marketing. That is scaling up. So you'll be asleep, but emails are going out. Social media posts are going on, but you yourself, you are asleep. Those are structures. So structure, 2, standard operating procedures. 3, you must train and empower your staff. You must train and empower your staff. You see, training will be expensive, but it's the best investment you can put into your business. So train and empower. Then sometimes we train them, but we don't empower them. So people come to engage with your business and they need to make a purchase. But the person you have put there cannot take any decision. I say, please let me call Oga. And guess what? Oga cannot be reached. That business is gone. They won't have the patience because whatever you are selling, several other people are selling it. So you must train them, empower them with some limitations. When we started Resource Intermediaries, I signed all checks. I took all decisions. After a while, checks below 100,000 don't come to me. I empowered somebody. Because the business had grown, we can afford to lose 100,000. After a while, okay, any check below 500,000 don't come to me, you guys. You do 500 below, you do 100 below. At the moment, any check below 5 million naira does not need to come to me. Because the business has grown. It's a $1 million business currently. So what is 5 million naira even if you make a wrong decision? And guess what? That empowerment makes your people so, because they too can see that I am part of this business. So when Othman says my people make him feel like he owns the business, because they themselves behave as if they own the business. You would think you are talking to me when you meet any of my staff in any of the locations. It comes from this number 3. You train, then you empower them. They'll make some wrong decisions. You won't debit their salary or kill them. Otherwise, they won't make another decision tomorrow. Rather, you use that error to learn and improve your number 2, standard operating procedure. So that next time this happens, this is how we should deal with it. Right. Number 4, you must review, reward, and sanction. So there must be a review period of, okay, whether it's weekly, we do weekly as executive, we'll review last week. Tomorrow now we'll review last week, ending Thursday. Our cutoff is Thursday. The reports are circulated on Friday. So we review what happened in all those locations by Thursday. I mean, we review it on Monday using the cutoff of Thursday last week. But I already have the reports by Friday. So we review what happened and use our meeting tomorrow as executive to determine what we need to do better or differently this coming week. And whatever happened Friday, Saturday, Sunday in those locations will be added to this week's report that will be cut off on Thursday. Then you reward those who have done well. Right. Beyond the salary, no matter what you pay, if you really want to scale up your business, have a commission for revenues generated for your staff. So whether they're in marketing or in human resource or in accounts or the drivers, janitors bring business to us. Janitor, cleaner, driver brings business, because there may be driver and janitor in your office, but in their mosque, in their church, they are imams, they are pastors, they are cell leaders. You know, they are big people, or they have responsibility for MDs. You know, when you're in mosque or church, it's a leveler. So you can be MD, you can do everything, but in the mosque, the imam is a cleaner, is a driver. So if you don't understand this principle, how will they bring business? Right. Wow. Then you sanction those who don't. So you reward, then you sanction. So there must be policies in place and consequences with no favoritism. Whether the staff is your brother or your sister or your wife or husband or girlfriend or boyfriend, there must be consequences. So if you do this, that's how I'm able to operate in 7 locations in Ghana with no sweat, just flowing.
Wow. So let me just say here, me, I want to be like you when I grow up.
You're already doing great.
Even me, I'm learning. I mean, I don't know if you guys are learning in the comment section. I know I am. It's just that I'm even doing too many things that I can't even take note. I wish I could, but I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and settle down and digest this section and take notes, right? So we talked about structure. So if a business wants to put structure, you know, what are the steps they should take? Like, what are the things they need to do? Even though we understand that structure is important, what are the steps that they need to do to even put that structure in place?
I'll answer this in 2 ways. First, there are 3 important factors to consider before you can think of a structure for a business. After that, I go through those 3, then I'll state the general things to do. The first factor to consider is what industry is the company operating in? Are you a manufacturing concern? Are you into buying and selling? Are you a service-oriented business like the Bunker Co-op spaces? Are you in coaching like Othman and I also do? You know, because the industry determines the kind of structure. It's not the same structure you need in a manufacturing concern that you need as a coach, which is a mistake a lot of businesses also make, right? They just like what goes on. Like I used to work in the banking industry, you understand, but I didn't have an head of internal control and audit until the 12th year of our business. But in the banking industry, that position must be there from day one, as it is. So you need first look at the industry. 2, what is the overall size of your company? So there's nothing wrong in being a sole proprietorship or a 2-3 man business. You should not now go and put up a structure that a 10-man business needs. So the size of your business is also important. When I say size of your business, please don't think of what it is now. The size you are envisioning. You understand? Never make your plans based on what is. Otherwise, you can't even grow. Right. Third factor is, what are your business goals? Is it financial goal? Is it being the number 1 in your industry? Is it being the go-to person? So you must be clear. All of this would determine what kind of structure you put in place. Now, generally, however, these are 5 things you can begin to do. And maybe you're already doing them. You may reaffirm that you're already being structured. 1, explore ways for some aspects of your business to work without you. That's the number 1 thing. You must think of, in all that I do in this business, which one can be delegated, either to technology, or outsourced to an organization, or to engage an individual. One wonderful way to delegate these days is youth corpers. Many don't understand it. All you are paying them is 20,000 naira, or if you can do maybe a bit more. They still get their alawi, and it's just 9 months. And if they've been exceptional, then you can then employ them. And if that individual is not, you collect, you let them go, bring another one, bring another one, bring another one. So you are getting graduate value for peanuts. Right. So then number 2, distinguish yourself from the business. Mistake a lot of startups also do. You are not the business. You may be the face of the business. You may be the owner of the business. A business is an entity on its own. So distinguish yourself from the business. Separate accounts. Don't say it is my money. If you take anything from it, it will be recorded by your account section as you are owing the business.
Or director.
Exactly. So you separate. They are 2 separate people. I use the bunker facilities. I pay. At best, they may give me some discounts, but I pay, and I pay. In fact, they won't give me the confirmation without payment. Otherwise, the business won't grow. 3, avoid personal factors that can affect the business, including family and friends. So you can't come and say you were passing by, you just stopped by to greet me. Office hour, oh boy. From the gate, I say, I'm sorry. See me at home over the weekend. This is my business. So no, you must separate all those things because they can easily enter. I'm just passing by. Then they'll spend 3 hours. From that, they want to drink Coke. They want to lunch. You spending money that you don't have. So you must, and there's no apologies. So avoid those things, whether it's family or friend abuses. 4, train and empower your staff, which is what I said, one part of my strength. And don't worry if you train them and they leave the day after you have spent 500,000 training them. Please don't worry. It could be very painful, but I learned early in my business that what is constant and you must be focused on is your vision, not who is on that journey with you. They will come, they will go. Don't lose your vision. Don't lose your vision. So train them. And when they want to go, let them go with your blessings. Guess what? A lot of the businesses I have gotten has come from ex-staff. Right. So just have that ability that you're just a custodian for God. To champion them, you're a stepping stone. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. You don't lose anything. Then empower them, like I've said. Don't people put in charge of positions without giving them the authority to act. And lastly, try and be innovative with your structures. You could use collaboration, for example. Find people who are good in what you need, but you also have what they need. For example, we've had people come to me, maybe people in public relations, and they're like, they want to use the co-work facility and they don't have money. And I tell them, you know what? Can you give us your PR skills, market our facilities, project us, then you can use the place free for 1 month. So that's collaboration. Win-win for both of us. Neither of us parted with money. So think in your business, how can you collaborate or outsource? And you outsource functions that are not core to your business. And there are not many things businesses do that are not core to what you do. So they're not they're not your unique selling points, but you need to do them. If they're not unique to what you do, you just outsource it. Let somebody else handle that for a fee. It helps. If you do these 5 things, I guarantee you would have begun to put structures in place.
Wow, thank you very much, sir. I know your time is very important. We're going to take a bit more out of what we asked you for, but let's just answer 2 more questions, and we'll tell you thank you. So, what was the biggest challenge? What was your biggest challenge starting your business? I know you mentioned it earlier on, but I want us for you to be able to go into a bit detail when you were starting out, and how did you overcome it?
My biggest challenge, obviously, was profitability. How do we make money? How do we make money? And we were determined, for example, our office was in Victoria Island because we felt what we want to do. We didn't want an office in some outskirts of Lagos. There's a brand impact to even your business. The kind of customers you want to deal with are oil company MDs, bank MDs. So where's the office? You mentioned some places. They won't even, not only will they not come, instantly they just write you off. That's a reality, So profitability was a major challenge. And part of why it was difficult, those 5 years where I made first mistake of not understanding early that adverts do not bring the customer. Advertisements only get you known. So in our own business, that startup year, the first 2 years, we spent 10 million naira in 2006 on adverts. We had billboards on Ikorodu Road. If you arrive Nigeria International Airport, you will see resource intermediaries, welcome to Nigeria. Not one customer came in 2 years. But they will know us. So that was a big mistake. If you see me, I don't spend money to do any advert. At most, maybe I do those digital ones of 2,000 naira Google, 5,000, but not all those newspaper advert, CNN, television. Any TV you see me, they invited me to speak. I didn't pay them a kobo. When they write me, they want to give me an award. I say, once they put there that I need to pay for advert, I say, keep your award. When you are ready, come and give me. I don't pay any advert. I don't pay a kobo as it is. So that was the first big error that affected startups. Second was, for startups in particular, except you are in aviation or medicine, some of those scientific technical spaces, it is best to build your talent than to buy the talent. It is best to build your talent, the people you want, than to buy the experts' experience. I made that mistake at start. We're starting an HR consulting firm, so I went to headhunt from Sanction, Adeco, all those major companies, doing what I want to be doing. I took their middle staff, increased their salary, gave them official car. Big error. It's part of why I didn't make money in 5 years. But they can speak big English. They can give you all the analysis, all the PowerPoint, all of that, but no money was coming. I didn't know that people like that can run a business that is already known. They can't build it. At startup, you need people like me. I'm a third class graduate. You need people with no degree who can fold their sleeve, enter the gutter, anywhere they will go there. So by year 3, year 4, I sacked all of them and got people like me. That was the beginning of profitability. So those were the 2 major errors, and I've also told you what I did to correct it for me. So build your talent. It will cost you time. So turn them to who you want them to be. It will cost you time. It's the best investment. They will also be grateful to you because they too can see that you built them, as against the one that is already exceptionally great, that comes there with he already has all the chips. If you speak too much grammar, they say, you stop all this nonsense. If you can't take it, I'm going to leave you. They speak plenty English, but no money, no customer. Right.
Wow. Thank you very much. So the last question before we tell you thank you. What is one book? Readers are leaders. I know that, I always like to know the books that the people that, have an impact in my life are reading. And that's question answer. What is one book that has had the greatest impact on you leading your business, and why?
First, I will shock you to say, even though I'm an author, as you know, I've written 7 books. I must be one of those exceptions of leaders that don't read that much. And that's the truth. If I pick a book, I just go through the chapters. Once I see 2 or 3 chapters that strike me with what I'm going through, I read those chapters, I finish the book. So and that's just me. So we also need to be careful, because a lot of people have gotten misled with this leaders are readers thing, and they are just not readers, and they begin to feel it means they are not leaders. Not necessarily. Just stay in your lane, stay in your zone. The person that reads 5 books in a month, fantastic. That's him.
Well done.
Well done. I as it is. Now, but for me, the book that transformed me the most, and this was before I became a certified Maxwell leadership certified team member, was that by Franklin Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective.
7 Habits. Yes.
If you've never read that book, go and look for it. It was about those loss-making 5 years I read that book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Franklin Covey. And what it did for me, at that time also, I didn't even know what emotional intelligence was. But if you really look at those 7 habits, they make you more emotionally intelligent. And to succeed, be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first thing first, think win-win, seek first to understand before being understood, synergize, sharpen. Those are emotional things that make you more emotionally intelligent, as it is. And it's important because as a business leader or owner or driver, your staff are human beings. Your customers are human beings. The regulators are human beings. So if you don't have people skills, you can't thrive well, even if you are good in the technical abilities of your business. So that book helped me with that. But after I became certified, you said 1, but I believe I can give 2.
Yes, sure.
The recent book, since I became certified, that has made most impact on me, also has to do with people, because really your people are your greatest assets. And you want to really grow your business, grow your people. As your people grow, your business naturally grows. Many business owners don't get this. It's costly. It will take you time. Some will disappoint you. Don't worry. Grow your business. Automatically, as they are growing, your business grows. And that book is The 5 Levels of Leadership by John C. Maxwell.
That's
the
it.
5 levels of leadership. And I was awed to find out that 70% of leaders, including big country presidents, are at the lowest level of leadership.
Yes.
You're like, they're powerful, they're running big companies, but they're not leaders. People are following them because they have to. They have no option. That's not leadership. If people are following you because they have to. Leadership starts from when people begin to follow you because they choose to follow you. And that's level 2. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olusoji. I can't thank you enough. You've been a blessing to my life personally, to my family, but more importantly, now you have come to bless my community with this amazing words of wisdom. This is something that even if you go for an MBA, you can't even get this level of deep insight from the trenches. 16 years of running the business. Thank you very much, sir. I know that you're a very busy person, so we won't keep you any much longer. Thank you, and do have a wonderful evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. And BLC, I thank you all. And I'm sure man will tell you where to reach me if you need me, but you have to come through him. That's the way we operate. Thank you all very much.
Woo! Guys, was that fire or was that fire? Hey! All right, so here's the thing, right? So we're going to round up very soon, like I said, right? Mr. Soji is amazing. I put his IG. It's been scrolling since. Go and follow him on Instagram. Comment on his pictures, like, sign up for his courses. He is amazing, 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 amazing. All right, so if you're just joining us, and you're wondering, okay, what's all this BLC about and all that, here's what I want you to do. If you want to know more about BLC, send an email to mail, and I'm going to type it out now, mail@theothman.com, and all you have to do is just send BLC. Just send BLC to mail@theothman.com. In addition to that, this particular class is going to be holding every last Sunday of the month. So there's a Telegram group, right? There's a Telegram group where updates will be shown and the replay of this video. So if you want to watch the replay, jump into the Telegram. I've put it in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook, whatever, it's in the comment section there. I just put it there. You can click on it and then it will take you to the Telegram group where you will join us, right? So if you want to join BLC, this is there. Yes, there will be a replay, but I think you should join the group. For BLC members, don't worry, you don't need to stress yourself. You get the replay automatically. BLC members, you don't have to worry. As I said, follow who no road. Thank you very much, guys. And here's the thing. Now, one more thing before we go, right? Structure is very important. Strategy is very important. Every month, there's something that we call the Boss Workshop, which is the Business Operations and Sales Strategy Workshop, right? Where we bring in business owners and we have a full day workshop where you will put your business, put strategy in your business, put structure in your business. Those of you that have been there, know about it, know what's happening. Hafsa Jumari was there in our last cohort. We're going to have another one in May. So the same thing, if you want to join that one as well, send me an email. The wait list is packed. We already have more than people waiting, but join the wait list. Just send an email. If you want to join the Business Operations and Strategy and Sales Strategy Workshop, Boss Workshop, send an email, boss to mail@theothman, and I'll respond to you and we'll see how we take it up from there. If you want to join BLC, if you want to know more about BLC, send BLC to mail@theothman.com. If you want to follow Mr. Soji, his email is there. It's scrolling across the screen. I'm sure you see it. Our guest is Olusoji Oyawoye. His IG is @Sojiwoye, at IG, right? So thank you very much for your time. It was explosive. I had fun. I hope you had fun too. And watch out for Susanna says I proud BLC. Yeah, so that's our BLC people. Jamila, thank you for joining. Mukhtar Salaudin, thank you for joining. Ayodele Adebayo, thank you for joining as well. All of you, Abdurrahman, Suleiman, thank you for joining. Yes, Shafiu, Suleiman, thank you for joining. All of you guys are amazing. God bless you all. And this is me, the Othman, signing out. And also, before I go, one last thing. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to watch new episodes weekly. Every Saturday, we drop a new episode at 7 p.m. So you can subscribe so that you can get, notified as I'm going to be sending those YouTube videos. All right, guys, thank you very much. And do have a wonderful evening. Cheers and bye for now.